Hey, this is the Fight Nerd, and I'm on board the TapouT bus with Punkass. How's it going today?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Now we're here at the UFC Fan Expo in Boston. And you guys have been going to, of course, all the Fan Expo. So, tell us a little about this one today.
Well, it's packed out there. It looks like it's a huge success for obviously the UFC and mixed martial arts. I haven't been able to really walk around too much. Every time I go out there, it takes me like an hour to get about 50 feet. So I've been hiding out here in the bus for a minute. But we're just looking out, and we got sales going on over here. We got some other stuff going on here, more of our presentations of new products and things that we have. And then we have a signing going on at the front of the bus. And we got like 10 fighters out there, so and the fans are great. All MMA fans are the best in the world. So
of course we are.
Yeah, so we're just having a good time.
Tell us about some of the new products that TapouT has that are being exhibited today.
I don't think our energy drinks are out there this time because right now we only have a license in Canada for that. But we are about to roll out our U.S. energy drink, which we're real excited about. And then we have TapouT VTC, which is our new TapouT virtual training center, and it's online, and that's going to be really cool. We got all the best fighters in the world that are teaching stuff on there, and that's going to be sick. So check out tapoutvtc.com. And then we have our TapouT films. We have a new movie coming out called Hamill. We're really excited about that because it's a great movie, and I really think it has a chance to. Win some awards, man. It's a great movie.
You mentioned the movie, so you're basically dabbling into a lot of other different business ventures now with energy drinks, films. What else is on the road for, I guess, TapouT's divesting, if you will?
The TapouT Films part was it's a part to really help the sport. I mean, we've always been on. We have gyms, we have nutrition for fighters. Our TapouT nutrition products, and then our gyms and equipment, all that stuff. Anything that we do or we try to get into is about helping the sport of mixed martial arts and help spread the word. And our feature film division really comes from us doing documentaries about fighters, and I'm sure you've caught some of our commercials. And so kind of that just ballooned up, and we were really excited about doing things that could help MMA and help the fighters in MMA. So sometimes our feature films are as simple as doing a movie that maybe is just an action movie, but we can put a couple fighters in there, give them a position in the film, and give them a chance to do something, because fighters, they only have a small amount of time that they're able to fight at their, peak performance in mixed martial arts, and so they're always looking for something to do beyond MMA, and we're, maybe we can give them a few jobs, like Rampage, who's been able to do a big movie, and I know Rashad's done some good stuff, and Jardine, and so those guys are all trying to dabble into acting a little bit, and people want to see them. They want to see them in those films. They would be great action stars. Of course, they're all working on their acting skills, and I think it translates well. But Hamill actually is it's a feature film about Matt Hamill's life, and being an underdog, being deaf, and fighting in the sport of MMA. Man, I mean, you can't get to be a bigger underdog than that. And really, it's not all about MMA. It's mostly, it starts out in that position, but it's really about his whole life and how he grew up and how he got into wrestling. It's really, really an awesome film.
Now, you, of course, cannot say mixed martial arts without thinking TapouT. That's obvious. Now, you guys have been around for so long. What would you say to a newer business, since there are so many new businesses popping up in mixed martial arts, what would you say to them that would be the best way for them to stay in business and not just survive, but to be successful?
Well, I mean, it's a hard time right now for anybody, but mixed martial arts is the one thing that really is happening, and people are excited about it, so it's a good place to be. A lot of other sports are, kind of, up and down, and there's not a lot of excitement or anything going on over there. So I'm glad we're involved in mixed martial arts. I mean, they're really going out there, and you got great guys at the top like Dana and Lorenzo who are pushing the sport and pushing things like this, like the Expo, gives us a chance to get out here and make a presence. And same with the small guys. It gives them an equal chance to come out here and get a booth for a couple $1,000. And I see like Bonner, those are all Bonner's paintings out there. He has a company that's putting together these paintings of fighters, and gives them a chance to start a small business and get a footprint out here in the space. That's like $2,000 for a booth, and you look as big as us out here.
That's a very big investment for a lot of smaller companies. So, I mean, for, let's say, a smaller regional company, is a kind of show like this very important? Or, I mean, they need to even come? I mean, what would you say?
Well, I would say if you're trying to get into the core market, this is the place to be. I mean, they're doing they've done 2 this year, well, 2 in a 12-month period, and so if they have these twice a year or 3 times a year, I would say it's probably a good place to be if you're involved in mixed martial arts, because there's a lot of eyes here, a lot of people walking through here, and it's very memorable. And if you can make an impression here, then that's how you'll be memorable. That's how you'll stay in the sport.
Now, we've seen the vertical market of MMA grow, of course, but now the horizontal market of MMA, a lot of these mainstream companies are coming in. What's drawing them in, and how many of these companies are actually going to stick around for the long run helping out mixed martial arts?
Well, I mean, it's there's some good and bad in it. You see these outside companies, who maybe sports, in other sports like motocross or some of those brands coming into the sport. On one sense, you kind of see them as like, hey, where were you 10 years ago? But even a company like, Metal Militia, it's like those guys had fighters that were fighting. A guy like Brian Deegan, who runs Metal Militia, he trains. So I see why they want to be here, because they're as excited about MMA as we are. And but there's a few guys out there who are kind of late bandwagon jumpers, and we like guys like we were there when nobody was around, and that's why I think we get that respect, and brands like Hitman, who were there standing next to us at the tables, and they had a booth across from us. I mean, those are brands that have been around since the beginning, and so I think that's why they're respectable in the sport.
All right, now last question, UFC 118 coming up tomorrow night. What are your predictions?
Oh man, I mean, I couldn't believe BJ gave that fight away last time, so I'm still thinking
Do you
BJ.
agree with that decision that the judges made?
I kind of thought BJ won the fight. I thought at the end of the fight BJ kind of may have had that fight, but so either way, I'm not going to go back and question a judge's decision. He was the one who was thinking about points. That said, I'd just like to see. I think BJ will probably take it this time, but you never know, man. Frankie's he surprised me last time, and I really didn't think he had a chance to win that fight, and he came out and proved everybody wrong, and good for him. I was happy for that, and then of course we're going for Couture. You got to stay with the MMA guy, and of course Couture, the natural man. That guy's he's a legend, so I would never vote against him.
All right, now last question. We've been talking a lot yesterday at the MMA Symposium about sanctioning around all 50 states of America. What's it going to take for all 50 states to finally sanction and have legal mixed martial arts?
It's just going to take, a group of people who want to have it in that. The UFC is really the one who's been pushing forward to get it legalized in all the states. And if, there's probably a few outside states that they don't see themselves throwing fights in. And so there's no reason to throw a lot of money at it and try to get it legalized over there. I think as they start to get the states that they really want, like New York, get that. They just got Toronto in Canada. So as they start to get those areas that they really want, then they'll come back around and get some of the other states that they didn't really, they weren't worrying about too much. So I think it will be important for them to have all the states in the U.S. legalized. They don't want to have one outstanding state saying, hey, well, it's legalized in every state, but one.
Happens to be New York for us.
Yeah, well, I think New York will be next on the list. That's one that they're really concentrating on, and everybody wants to see a fight at MSG. So we're looking forward to that, and I think that's going to happen probably early next year sometime.
Cross our fingers. All right. Well, Punkass, thank you very much for your time today. I'm going to take a nap on this TapouT couch. This is a pretty sweet couch.
It folds out to a bed, brother.
Oh, sweet. All right, I'm going to sleep over here for a while.
Bed in the back, and this one folds out to a bed too. So
we're pimping here out in the TapouT bus. This is amazing. All right. Well, Punkass, thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks a lot, bro.
This video is sponsored by Skin Industries, dominating fashion for the past 11 years with hundreds of designs for men, women, and children. Skin Industries is your everyday lifestyle clothing brand. Start living in skin today and check out skinindustries.com.